it's Leanna here for the second episode of Lipstick and Livelihood, and I am thrilled to be here at the Night Nonprofit Center in Gulfport, Mississippi, with none other than Robin Killeen of the WOW Care Closet and Women of Wisdom. So WOW stands for Women of Wisdom, and they are located in Gulfport, Mississippi. And Robin is the executive director, president, and founder of WOW.
Yes, yes. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yes.
We're going to have fun.
We are going to have fun.
Yes.
And so I hope that you all get to see what I see every time I have met Robin from day one. She is such a breath of fresh air, so much personality, and so much love. And that is absolutely what you get when you connect with the ladies of WOW or come here to the Care Closet.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to always start with, every time I see you, you are wearing a bright pop of color.
Oh, yes.
And I see you have on orange today and
Yes.
a really pretty lip. So what are you
Yes.
wearing, Robin?
I am wearing Revlon, and it is a satin ink. And it's supposed to last all day, but you might have to touch up just a little
Yes,
bit.
I love
But
those.
it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yes.
So today I have on MAC Viva Equality, and I do have a little bit of NYX gloss on top of it, but this is the color I have on today, kind of wearing some more neutral tones.
All right.
And again, we are so excited to be here in the WOW Care Closet. And I want you to kind of tell us what inspired you to even start this.
Oh, wow. Well, Leanna, this is our 26th year. September starts our 26th. And
Wow.
the Care Closet did not exist at that point, but I came from the staffing industry. I worked there for 24 years. And what we did is we would have people that come in with a skill set, but they didn't have the proper clothing to go interview or even start a career. And so we had a little tiny care closet. We kind of put all of our clothes together, and it was like this big. And so when I started, at the same time, I was going to a lot of meetings and I would see women, but I'm like, where are the women mentors? Because that was a long time ago, because I've been retired almost 10 years now. And so I would say, where are the women mentors? So what we did is we started WOW, Women of Wisdom, and it was actually, let me just be transparent, I initially presented it as a misfit luncheon.
I love it.
Because I always felt like a misfit. I never really fit in school. And then I got saved and I didn't fit in church because, I didn't look like the typical church lady.
You weren't the cookie cutter Christian, right?
No cookie cutter Christian. So, anyway, so we started WOW and I really honestly didn't want anybody to feel like they weren't loved or they weren't welcomed. And so we started, that was kind of our basis of it. And I remember telling Dr. Eileen Whittemore, I said, we're going to start this lunch. I would love you to be on board at the very beginning of it. And I want to call it the Misfit Luncheon. She said, no. And I said, what do you mean? She said, not everybody admits that, Robin. I'm like, well, I've always felt like a misfit and not anything, oh, poor me.
Right.
I just didn't fit in any group. So we started our own. And so,
I love that.
So WOW, Women of Wisdom was birthed out of that. And it was truly because our main thing is love, connectivity, and prayer. And so with all that, people feel like they have relationships, they have sisterhood, they have family. And so
Yes.
that's how we started. And at that moment, we didn't start the Care Closet. So it was about 2018 is I kept seeing the prayer requests come at our luncheons. We offer people to have prayer requests, and we pray over those for a whole year. And so I would see people say, I have a job interview, but I don't have any clothes. And I'm like, oh, that kind of stirred
at your
something.
heartstrings.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, gosh, we did that before. And so, I'm starting a new career. I got promoted. I don't have the proper clothes and I don't have the money to buy them. And I'm like, okay, Lord. You don't have to hit me with a ton of bricks. Is this what you're calling me to add to the WOW Women of Wisdom luncheon? Because my first initial thing is we're going to have this sweet little luncheon and build sisterhoods, and that's going to be it. We eat together and we go home. But that's not what God had in mind. So
I love that.
So I presented that to the team, and they're like, oh, my gosh, that's so much work. I said, I know. And so I tabled it for a little while, but then God kept tugging, and he gets his way.
Oh, yeah.
He really does get his way. And so I just felt like I would be cheating God if I did not reach out and do what I was called to do. And this you'll see later as you see the Wow Care Closet, which you've been in before. It's not that little bitty closet that I thought, well, we'll gather some clothes from some business women in the community, and we'll give clothes as they need it. This thing is huge.
It has grown.
Oh my
from
gosh.
the first time that y'all were upstairs
Right.
here in the Night Nonprofit Center, and it was just more of a closet. I'm sure it was smaller than that at some point. And now you all have just recently moved to the first floor in a bigger space, which you all will hopefully have gotten to see a little bit, a couple of clips here. And one thing that is so amazing, I know you all can see the shoes behind me, but there's jewelry, there's jeans, there's whatever you can think of, blazers, gala attire, shoes of all sorts, jewelry, purses, anything you can think of, and it is all free to the ladies that you guys serve.
Right, and we are so honored to serve. And I'll tell you about our first experience. We were still growing. We had one storage downstairs. Now we have 3, and so we were here on a Saturday, and this lady, the building is not open, but this lady was walking, and somehow she walked through where we were, and I said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "I was told I could get some shoes here." And I'm like, "Really? Okay." Come to find out, she was barefooted. It was in the middle of July, which the asphalt out here is so hot. And she had been released from jail. And she came straight here to get shoes because they didn't provide shoes. She didn't have them when she went in, and they didn't have them. And so, I had to learn a lesson that day, because I immediately started crying because it was tugging on my heart. And I couldn't keep it together. So I'm bawling while my other team's praying for her. So I sat back in the corner crying, and I'm like, "Okay, Robin, you cannot cry. That's not what she needed from you. She needed prayer and love." So thank God my team.
But you were empathetic, which is important.
Right, which is, I've learned to hold a few tears back lately. It's only been, 5 years, 6 years now. And so, you learn how to control that, because they don't want sympathy. They just want love. They want support. And that's what she got. And so it was absolutely a blessing. That was our very first person we served, and that will never go away. It's just such a great thing. And from there, we serve not only people from drug court when they graduate, they need to have clothes to go interview, but people, just business people that may have been promoted and they don't have the money, or teachers, so they don't have the money to go out and buy a wardrobe. And so we've been able to touch people from one end to the other, and that's what's a blessing to me. And that mimics the staffing industry that I was in, because we place laborers to executives. And so it's just diverse, and that to me is what heaven looks like. So it's so much fun.
I love that. And I can also say that about WOW. Every time I've gone to WOW, you guys are a diverse group of ladies. All ages, all colors, all personalities. And you all truly embrace every single woman that comes through the door. And that is what really sets y'all apart from a lot of the other organizations.
I agree. And one of the things that I used to drive the team crazy, because I'm like, did you love on everybody that walked in the door? Did anybody leave feeling unloved? And they're like, "Robin." I'm like, "I know, but I just don't want them to," because I felt like a misfit most of my life. And so I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to know when they walk in the door, I feel love, I feel welcomed, and this is my place, and I'm no longer a misfit.
Yes, I love that. So I just want to remind everybody, WOW is in Gulfport, Mississippi, the WOW Care Closet. You do need to make an appointment, correct? You can't just show up. And you have a wonderful person that works in here, Miss Jill Compton.
Jill is amazing. She's our director.
Tell us a little bit more of how that works how do they make an appointment with you all?
So what they do is they call or text Jill or myself, and we make an appointment for them. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we see people between 9 and 2. And we honestly like to do it one-on-one, because first off, some of this is confidential, and it depends on where they're being sent from. And we honestly like to give them that one-on-one attention, and then we help them. We have fashionistas that say, "No, that doesn't look good," and we're real honest, because integrity is very important to us. And I don't want somebody saying, "Oh, that looks so good on you," and they're like, "Oh, that looks terrible." And so we're real honest. We have trained on trends and classy looks and business casual and professional. So we stay on top of those trends, and it's just amazing. And then at the end, we offer them prayer. And not one person has said, no, I don't need prayer.
Right.
And so it's really beautiful. And some of them will share their stories. Some of them are bashful and,
Yeah.
and introvert, and you understand we don't know
Mhm.
where they're coming from. So we
Right.
kind of leave that alone and not push. But
Mhm.
we offer them support going forward. Like last week, we just had wow luncheon, and we had 2 testimonies from 2 ladies that were homeless. That now we gave them clothes. One has been promoted twice, got a car, has a house. And so it's just, this is why we do what we do. And I'm not going to
Absolutely.
tear up because it's I don't have waterproof on today, but this is why we do it. It's
Yeah.
because of those kind of stories. And I'll tell you one other one. We used to be in a smaller space, and our office was connected to the care closet itself, so you could hear them talking, and you would hear them talking because we're like, tell us when you got your clothes on, let us see it before you put it in your bag,
Right.
because we need to approve it on
Okay.
you. And I heard this one lady say, how did they know what I needed? I never thought I could dress this good. And you're thinking, oh my Lord, this is why. This is the why and the
100%.
what and the how. And
Yes,
so
y'all are building confidence, and
yes,
and I'm sure
yes,
that there are clothes in here, and y'all are helping them shop. You're helping them put it together
yes,
that they didn't think they would look good in. They would have never picked
right,
out on their own. They didn't know how to put together,
right,
and so they leave here with an amazing wardrobe that they can take with them to an interview
right,
or work or both, and just help
right,
them get started. So I
right.
absolutely love that.
We give up to, I mean, a lady came today and she really only found a couple of pieces. And some of them are reluctant to begin with because they're like, how much can I take? And we're like,
Yeah.
well, look, we'll help you dress for 30 days till
Oh
you get your
wow.
first check. And what we do is we show them how to put the outfits together.
Yes, mixing and
And
matching.
yes, and Jill Compton and the Fashionista team they're amazing.
Oh
They
my
can really
gosh.
do that. So,
So tell us about your outfit, Robin.
okay, so I have on a Care Closet outfit, and so this was donated. These brown pants came in with a brand new tag on it. I mean, they had a tag.
I love the colors.
I know, and this is a Casper jacket.
Love it.
And so I think this was a Casper shirt. So
Okay.
we get brand new suits, Leanna, with tags on it. We're like, who would get rid of this? But
Right.
some people just like to shop and they like to buy 2 of the same kind of suit. I know.
Guilty.
I know. I kind of like to shop too. So, but so this is what we like to do when we go speak anywhere. We like to wear a
Yes.
Care Closet outfit because we don't want them to think, okay, it's your grandma's
Right,
clothes. We
right.
just grabbed them out of the closet. It's beautiful clothes in the business casual. We do have jeans because we have people that come in that need jeans for
Oh,
Friday.
absolutely, yeah.
And so it's amazing. It's amazing what comes. Every Tuesday we receive drop-offs between 9 and 2 by appointment.
Okay.
Only so, and I handle that for them. And what we do is we want to be able to, you text me, you're here, I go out with a cart and meet them and help them.
Okay.
And we give them a tax letter because we're a 501c3.
Yes.
And so they get a letter. So
good.
it's just amazing. And, to be grateful and show them how much we appreciate it. And people was like, I hope it goes to a wonderful home. I'm like, no doubt.
Oh,
I
yes.
wished you could hear the stories.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am just honored to be here with you today, and we are going to show a little bit more of the store itself.
Yes.
And I don't know if you're comfortable with maybe sharing a little bit more about, like, just for those out there that are starting over or that have experience feeling like a misfit in their
Yes.
life. I know I've always, throughout my life, being biracial, growing up in the
Right,
South,
right.
at points in my life didn't feel like I fit in,
Right, right.
And so, is there anything else you want to share about, when you were coming up and maybe you weren't a Christian, you weren't saved then, and
Right.
how becoming saved but still feeling like you were shunned at
Right.
points, how that affected you and how that
Right.
helped you, and just how you serve others now.
Well, one of the things when I was in school, I did feel like a misfit. However, it's really odd that when I got saved and I thought, what am I doing? 1992 is when I started, I need to go church hopping like I did bar hopping. And so I went and started trying them all because I wanted it to be the right thing. And so not just a certain denomination, we tried them all. And so it's odd, Leanna, that I felt more of a misfit when I started church. Because obviously I didn't look like the cookie cutter Christian. I still don't, but at first I thought, let me conform. And I honestly thought, let me try to look like them. And I did.
And you weren't being yourself.
I wasn't. I wasn't being honest with myself, genuine. And I thought, I got to maintain this thing. And this is not me. And so the pendulum swung and I was like, okay, I won't wear this. I think I changed probably 5 times every Sunday to make sure that I fit the mold. And I don't know when it happened, but all of a sudden I'm like, this is not honest. This is not who I am. And so I didn't feel good about me. And I thought, I just, either they accept me or they don't. And so, I guess that's one of my missions in life is not to let somebody feel like I'm walking in Wow's luncheon. I don't know if I'm going to fit. Oh yeah, you're going to fit. We're going to drag you in and put you in and hug and love all over you. And so that's part of the thing is when I got saved and how Wow came about is the same misfit thing. And I didn't start it immediately because I got saved in 1992. And so we didn't start. In 1998, I started feeling God prodding me and saying, every pain, everything you felt, every lonely, every meeting you went to, you think, okay, let me find somebody I know, let me. And I'm kind of a kick in the door person anyway, so I'm not an introvert, as you probably knew.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I thought about what about those people, and so I became chairman of the ambassador committee for the Coast Chamber a long time ago, probably 1990. But I started getting saved in the midst of that, and it's odd that I was in charge of that because one of our goals where we would go to a chamber function would look to see who was standing alone and try to incorporate them and introduce them.
I love it.
And so I remember I was at a Joyce Myers conference and I remember praying and I remember God saying to me, everything that I've been doing all your life is set you up for such a time as this. And he said, so I need you to go out now and bring those people in that feel lonely. They feel like they're not a part of anything. They feel rejected or hurt. And so I was able to, I ran from him for 2 years now, be honest, but he does win in the end.
He does. He has a way of bringing us back to him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he does. And so I started it and, I didn't know what I was doing. So in 1998, I called a few women of influence that I knew and I'd watched in the community. And we met once a month for a whole year. Because I said, Lord, I don't even know what we're doing. Well, I really women are kind of dramatic. And so I'm not sure I want to do this.
Right.
And he assured me I better do this. And so I'll be honest. So 1 year later, we started WOW. Still didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is love, connections, and prayer. If we get any of those right, then we're bringing people in that may not have ever walked in the door of a church.
That's right.
Or any meeting or felt good at their home or with their family. And so we have made a huge difference. And it's an honor and a privilege. And if I talk any longer, I'm probably going to cry. But it's an honor and privilege that we can protect people from feeling lonely.
Absolutely. And you are doing God's work. You absolutely are.
Thank you.
And I mean, that's what it's all about because like you said, to your point, there are so many people that we come across every day. I know me working in the business community, there are people that I meet that are not believers. They don't believe in God. They may be agnostic. And the only thing I can think of is that verse that let your light shine before men so that they can see the God in me and see God in Jesus in me.
Right.
And so that's what you're doing. And you are bringing his light to the world. Women, that is your calling.
Yes.
But thank you. Thank you so much for what y'all do.
Thank you. I love it.
For being my second guest today.
Oh, I'm so honored to be here.
So honored to have
and
you.
I'm so proud of you for stepping out in faith because I know part of your...
This is one of those things that God was telling me to do this.
Yes. And so that reminds me of WOW. I had to step out on faith and just do it, not knowing. I didn't have it's kind of like God stands behind you and puts down a stepping stone and says, now step now.
Yes.
You think, but where's the next step? We don't need to know because it's there already. Yes. And so blessings are in the unseen.
Absolutely. And so blessings are also in obedience.
Yes.
And that's something I've had to sometimes learn the hard way.
Yeah.
We sometimes have to, like you said, you know, you were fighting it for a couple of years, but he brought you to what he needed you to do and you've been obedient and you've been very blessed by it.
Yes, it is a blessing. You know, you can't outgive God. And that is amazing. And we're seeing it here. You know, we have an abundance of clothes, you know, and we're like, wow, how did people hear? It's
Yes.
just God's out there. If we take care of his business, he takes care of ours.
Now, Robin, do you all have a website? I know you have a Facebook page.
Yes,
Okay, so if anyone wants to donate to WOW, you can find them
yes,
on Facebook, and you
yes,
can also go to their website
yes.
and you can donate, or
Okay.
you can come and shop and make an appointment.
Right. Or come to lunch the second Wednesday of the month. And, we
Oh
have
yes,
great speakers. Karen Sock is our speaker in June.
oh yes,
And I'm already getting table
love her.
reservations
Yes,
because she is amazing and she has an amazing testimony. So we're excited about
yes.
that. So, yeah, you can come to lunch second Wednesday. You can come to Transformation Tuesday, the third Tuesday of the month. And
Which Transformation Tuesday, can you tell
yes.
us exactly what that is? You just
Okay.
had one,
Okay.
and
Yes.
it was a huge success in the month of
Wow.
May. So,
It
what is
was
Transformation Tuesday?
Okay, Transformation Tuesday is we provide clothes and we have open our office, open our care closet between 12 and 5, and we gave out 960 items last week.
That is
Just last week.
so
I know.
phenomenal.
Right, and we probably received 1,000 yesterday.
Wow.
So we're never at a deficit.
Right,
So
right.
God always provides. So
Mhm.
just when you think 960, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And
More
here they
stuff.
come. I had a
I love
lady
it.
that used to be my customer
Mhm.
25 years ago show up yesterday with all her clothes because she retired. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's just really,
Well, the word is
it's,
getting out
yes,
because,
yes,
as you all know, many people know that I work for the local Goodwill of South Mississippi.
yes,
And oftentimes, if we're not able to help individuals in the store,
yes.
you all even donate to Goodwill.
Right,
We
right,
send ladies here
right,
to WOW if they
right,
cannot afford to buy anything.
right,
And then we also help at Goodwill with career services.
right.
So they can come and get the interview attire,
Yes,
and then we can
yes.
also help with resumes at Goodwill and mock interviews and just any kind of digital skills training that you might need as well. So,
Right. Great
great
partnership.
partners. Thank
Yeah.
you so much,
Oh,
Robin, for all that y'all do.
yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for having me.
yes,
It
and
was a
continue
blessing to be
do
here.
such great work.
Thank you. We love it. We'll keep doing it.